Hello everyone, this is the TheGenshinGuy, and for today this is going to be a physical keqing guide vid. The reason why I am making a physical keqing guide vid now is because in the age of Dendro everyone has forgotten about physical characters like keqing and Eula. It's definitely not because my Nahida is not built and am too lazy to spend resin on deep wood. All jokes aside, physical keqing is still a great option, and if you have been farming the Pale Flame domain since it came out, then you're gonna have better artifacts than me, so don't take my Abyss 12 top half seriously. So in today's video I will cover her kit and how it works, playstyles, weapons and artifacts, constellations, teams, Abyss 12 top half and a nuke showcase, so stick around till the end. So starting up with her kit, her normal attacks / charge attacks are the central part of her kit, which is where most of her damage will come from. Her normal attacks are 5 physical attacks which deals a decent amount of damage, but the actual damage comes from her charge attacks, as it has a decently high scaling. Her elemental skill is what will perfectly activate the 4-piece bonus of the Pale Flame artifact, but we will talk about it later. As for how her skill works is when you tap the elemental skill she summons a lightning stiletto, and if you tap the skill again she will teleport to that stiletto, and if you use a charge attack instead it will explode, dealing AoE electro damage. You can also use it for exploration to gain some elevation. Now for her burst, it's really good as you can kinda just spam it since it has a really low 40 energy cost. As for how it works is it initially deals some damage on activation and performs 8 hits and a final hit that deals a lot of damage. All of these are electro attacks obviously. Now for her passives, her first just infuses her normal and charged attacks with electro when you tap her skill and tap it again. Her next passive just reduces her exploration time in Liyue, however her second passive grants her 15% crit rate and energy recharge after you use her burst, which is why you will want to spam her burst. Moving on to her constellations, for her C1, when you use her skill and you tap it again she will deal AoE electro damage based on 50% of her attack when she teleports. Now for her C2, when keqing's normal or charge attack hits an opponent who is affected by electro, she will have a 50% chance of producing an elemental particle once every 5 seconds, which will further help her to spam her burst. Her C3 will just increase her burst talent level by 3 levels, giving her a bit more burst damage. For her C4, when she triggers an electro-related elemental reaction she will gain 25% increased attack for 10 seconds. This is where her physical damage maxes out. Her C5 increases her skill talent level by 3 levels, which is not insane, but it's alright. For her C6, when you perform a normal attack, charged attack, elemental skill or burst she will gain 8% electro damage bonus for 8 seconds, and all these attacks are considered to be separate, so she can gain up to 24% electro damage, which is not gonna benefit our physical keqing. Now for her physical keqing, her best weapon will be Aquila Favoina, cause not only does it have a really high base attack, but also has a high physical damage bonus. Alongside that, its passive is nice cause when you take damage you will gain 20% attack and deals physical damage around, and your character also gets healed. For the other 5-star weapons you can use Jade Cutter or Mist Splitter, and for 4-star your best bet is going to be on Prototype Ranker, since it's basically a 4-star version of Aquila, as in it has a really high base attack for a 4-star and high physical damage bonus, and its passive increase your attack and defense by 5% when your normal or charged attack hits an opponent and last for 6 seconds with max 4 stacks, so you can gain 20% increased attacks from this. Now for artifacts, she will be using 4-piece Pale Flame cause the 2-piece not only grants you 25% physical damage bonus, but the 4-piece will also give you 25% physical damage bonus and 18% attack when you use the elemental skill and do a charge attack. So yeah, there are only 2 physical keqing teams that are viable, and you could use a freeze team, however it will hurt her damage, and this abyss has no enemies that can get knocked around, so yeah. The Abyss run may seem slow, but that's because it's hard to deal a lot of physical damage with keqing, so just take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, she was able to complete the Abyss, so she is still a good character with physical damage, and I think if you have her you can try out physical keqing. Anyways, always if you enjoyed the vid then drop a like and sub, and I'll see y'all on the next one.